All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Buko Boys.
I'm DVO.
And I'm Dale.
And we are filming from San Diego.
On Coronado Beach right now.
And it is a nice day out here today.
It's been like 84 out here.
It's been nice. Nice little change of weather from back in Salt Lake right now.
It's better than being in a room recording with walls like we're in a cage.
Okay.
we need to be free. We need to be free and flap our wings.
Spread our wings and fly.
That's right. I'm a peacock.
Yeah, we're having a good time out here.
So, back home in Utah, we just found out that Prop 2 had passed, which is medicinal marijuana.
Pretty interesting.
So that's good news.
Did you think it was going to pass?
Yeah, there's a huge support of that proposition back home.
I kind of felt that. I feel like a lot of people on my social media were kind of going for it. They made it obvious they were voting for it.
Well, because everyone knows that it doesn't do anything bad.
Okay.
Alcohols and cigarettes kill more people than...
The marijuana?
Marijuana has 0 kills so far. 0 deaths.
So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I feel like during this election, that was probably the most taboo or most talked about subject in the whole election.
Yeah, because that definitely, well, for Utah, just for Utah.
Yeah, yes.
But yeah, there's a shit ton of patients that need the medicine, and the government's just been hiding it from everybody.
Yeah.
Demonizing the shit out of it.
So what does that mean, though, going forward?
It means, well, right now
Is it like official, or does something still have to happen?
It's official. The state's still trying to mess with it and change it to what they want.
Okay.
And the church is getting involved because the LDS church in Utah has to have their hands in everything, which shouldn't happen, but they do. But they just want to make it a profit off of it. In the proposition, the church doesn't have any way to make money.
Okay.
So they wanted it not to pass so they can come up with their own way so they can make money off it, which that shouldn't happen either.
Okay.
It's big bullshit.
As you can tell, Dale's passionate about it.
Well, yeah, I know people that need the medicine and they're not able to get it, or they have to go out of state. And then Utah always talks about not having money for schools or this, that, and the other, and they want to increase gasoline taxes.
Okay.
Which is complete bullshit, because they can make so much money if they just change the liquor laws a little bit to where they would make a lot more money off of liquor sales, and then they can make money off of the marijuana sales.
Okay.
Well, the state's stupid. They'll figure it out one day.
I guess time will tell. I guess it'll take some time to get everything rolling out, but...
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some time.
They got to work out all the bugs to suit them, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely, but at least we got our foot in the door for now.
Okay.
And then, the laws will get better as time goes on.
Yeah, hopefully it will be better, because we definitely need to work on some alcohol laws out in Utah, that's for sure. They need to work on some of those too.
Yeah.
There's some weird, I remember working as a security guard, there were so many laws and rules that I had to deal with and people from out of state are just like, what the heck is that? Well, it's
embarrassing.
It's just Utah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, deal with it. We do.
Yeah. But now, we're out here by the ocean.
Speaking of oceans.
Okay.
You seen that? Well, yes, you have, because you were there with me when we saw the Aquaman trailer.
So we went to Venom and saw the extended trailer of that.
And shit was badass.
It looks awesome.
I know, right?
Because, we love, obviously, comic book heroes, but Aquaman was not one of my favorites.
No, he was kind of a puss.
He looked like it, right? Like his superpower was to
talk to fish.
Talk to fish, so if you were nowhere near the water, he was no help to you.
I know, they were like, we gotta stop this evil guy from destroying the city. Aquaman, sorry, you can't come. Unless you can send a shark through the sky.
But Jason Momoa makes him look like a badass.
Yeah, he looks so badass. I've been told I look like Jason Momoa.
Oh, with your beard now?
Yeah.
Well, if you're watching our YouTube, you'll see his beard. And in fact, if you're watching our YouTube, I hope you enjoy the scenery we have provided today.
Sorry if you hear wind in the microphones, because yeah, we are on the beach as we speak. So you're gonna hear you might hear some wind, you might hear some seagulls, hear some waves,
seals,
baby seals.
So Aquaman looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Because I like how they incorporate his own tattoos as maybe that scale
like
look.
Scales, yeah.
And in that extended trailer, he actually has like a gold armor that looks like the scales.
The old suit that he would have.
Yeah. So that looks pretty awesome. And I've got a little man crush on Jason Momoa, so that's cool too.
I just hope they don't ruin it with there's a lot of CGI in it, and I just hope it doesn't look a little cartoony when it gets overdone.
So in the extended trailer, they're underwater talking, right? And you can see like their hair flowing because they're underwater.
Right.
And I was curious when they cut to that if they were going to make them sound like they were underwater talking.
Oh yeah, like gargling when they talk.
So that was. It looks all right though, but it seems kind of weird.
I don't know shit about Aquaman's storyline really, because I never really was into DC. I've always been into Marvel more than anything. So I really don't know Aquaman's storyline. So you know how a lot of times the comic book and the movie don't really go together that well. I mean, there's a lot of differences. In this, I'm more like, whatever you guys want to do, I'll follow, because I don't know shit about the comic book. So the movie's how I'm gonna take it.
Well, I like this because Wonder Woman was pretty awesome.
It was good.
But Superman versus Batman,
although Wonder Woman was a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
And Gal Gadot is pretty hot.
Yeah, she is.
I think she was a little bit too dainty to play Wonder Woman.
Like, not like tougher
dainty,
looking?
Yeah, like she needed to have like
more muscle mass?
Yeah, a little bigger. A little bit of a bigger. Well, she's supposed to be an Amazonian, and they're big old broads.
All right.
Amazonians are big old broads.
But she did good. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, I did like it. I'm just saying, being that what Wonder Woman's, I guess, lineage is being the Amazonians, they're supposed to be big girls.
Okay.
But yeah, she's pretty tiny.
Yeah, that's true. But I didn't mind watching her on the screen. So.
And then with another movie that just got announced was the Bad Boys 3 with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
Uh-huh.
I'm excited for that because I was a fan of Bad Boys. And I was also a fan, well, like you said, you didn't like the second movie, right?
I thought I liked the first one. The second one I thought was just okay.
In the second one, is that the one where in the end they were racing for that one little spot in the wall?
I actually don't remember.
The bad guy crashed.
I don't remember.
I'm not remember either.
I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I'm not the most excited about the third one because I almost feel like Martin Lawrence hasn't been around for so long. I'm not that drawn to it.
He was the main character in the movie, so if they're
I get he was the main character in the first two because he was kind of popular back then when they came out. Now he's not so popular anymore.
I'd still watch it.
I might. I'll see because there's no trailers yet, right?
What's crazy is how old they are now, but they don't look like it. Will Smith still looks like the Will Smith from 20 years ago.
So Martin Lawrence still looks good?
From what I've seen, I mean, he's just a little chubbier.
Okay.
But he doesn't look like he aged all that much. He might have some gray hairs and stuff, but in this movie, he should be a grandpa. Because in the second movie, when his daughter was going to the prom, and that's been 20 years ago. So
all right.
She's got to be popping out babies. Plus his other little kids from the movie, so he's got to be having all sorts of grandkids in this movie.
All right. That does not help the case of me wanting to watch this now. A grandpa chasing bad guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what the storyline's going to be. But I haven't seen anything about what the premise is on this movie.
But Martin Lawrence, did you watch some of his old stand-up?
Forever ago. I don't remember any of it though.
Me neither, but I did like the show Martin.
I liked it when it was on because we were little kids, but if I was to watch it now, because I've seen it on and I tried watching a little bit of it, it was horrible.
Well, a lot of things if you try to watch now from before,
the comedy's just
evolves. Comedy evolves, and it's old. But I did like Martin, but I really like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Well, yeah, I can still watch that.
It was good.
It was good. Even the comedy in that's still good.
It was pretty good. Probably the most memorable episode for me was that one where Will Smith's dad comes back. He's supposed to go take off with him, but then he abandons him again, pretty much. Yeah. And he cried. I got a little teary-eyed at that.
Well, because did you hear about that scene? That was actually like
improv a little bit. Yeah, I did hear that
because of his upbringing. So he kind of used his own personal in that episode and made everyone emotional.
Now, if you guys are watching, Dale does a great Carlton test. Dale, go ahead.
I can't. My hands are full. My hands are full. Sorry.
All right, maybe next time his hands are full. Well, that was great. I did love that show.
Yeah, it was good.
Speaking of shows,
what else?
Man, Walking Dead. The last Rick Grimes. I mean, it's no spoiler. It's been announced for months now. Rick Grimes, this was his last episode.
Yes.
I love the way they ended it.
So it was a relief to me, for sure, because I was like, how the hell are they going to do this? They're going to ruin themselves. So
spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it yet, I don't know why you haven't. It's been almost a week now. But it was supposed to be Rick Grimes' last episode, and everyone wondered, how are they going to...
he's going to die.
Yeah.
And
well, tell me, did you... All right.
I thought he was going to die.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you've announced that enough. People, if if they don't know that we're spoiling this shit, then too bad.
How did you think?
So,
because you thought he was gonna die.
The episode before the last one, he gets impaled. And
on a barb.
On a rebarb. And you think, oh shit, this is...
They're going to get him because there's a herd walking towards him.
2 herds.
Yeah.
Well, then he gets up and he's going, and then you're like thinking, any time in this episode, he's going to go.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. And then they ended... The way it ended was great for me.
Right.
And then finding out afterwards where they're going to take the storyline. So they fast forwarded 6 years in the future, and you know, life without Rick Grimes. That's going to be the next few episodes until they do that mid-season break, and so now there's no Rick Grimes in the picture. And from what they said is now they're going to have 3 feature-length films of Rick Grimes after that had happened.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. 'Cause I wasn't sure if Andrew Lincoln, the actor, if he was done with that series, or if he was just like, if he was done with acting maybe for a little bit, like, hey, I need to spend some time with family. I've been really, was it 9 seasons? Was that what it was? I can't remember, but it's been a while. He's been
this is character. The 9th season, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. I thought maybe he was trying to take a break, but maybe they're gonna do a spin-off almost.
Well, they are going to do other spin-offs. So they said they're going to do other little mini-series, internet series, maybe other feature films, but of past characters that have already passed on from the show, and do like maybe their prequels before everything happened, or their life before they met up with the group.
Okay.
And then they also said they're going to do little series on different areas of the world, on how it all went down in those little sections of the world, not just in Atlanta with Rick Grimes and his group. And the Fear of the Walking Dead I haven't been watching.
I hope it's better than that, because I'm not a big fan of Fear of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, those first 2 seasons got me completely turned off to that show, because I hated that family. I wanted them all to die.
I know.
As soon as they introduced them and how stupid they were, like, y'all should die.
I hope you guys die.
They were dragging it out, and they were not dying, so I stopped watching.
so hopefully it gets better.
Well, no, I heard it did get better. I heard that.
No, I mean the spin-offs. I mean the spin-offs. So tell me, when you thought that Rick Grimes died, did you get emotional?
Yeah.
So
especially when Daryl did his ugly cry.
I got
an ugly cry, and that always gets everyone going.
That got me going.
So they zoomed in on that shit.
I mean,
they knew
guys
how
are
to
my
pull
bros.
on the heartstrings.
and my wife was next to me, and she got teary-eyed. She goes, "Why did they have to go like this?" And then, you know, a few minutes later, wait.
Yeah. That threw you for a loop. I did not expect that.
No, that was awesome.
One bit. I was like, oh, this is how he's going.
That was good. That was really good. So I'm glad the way they put him out, because I saw Andrew Lincoln do an interview, and he said, I'm glad they made Rick seem like he goes out as a hero.
And then did you see how at the San Diego Comic-Con over the summer, then they made that big announcement that this is going to be his last season? And on the panel, everyone was emotional. Everyone was kind of crying, and so you're like, holy shit, he's going to die. But he doesn't. That's the spoiler.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I noticed that the sun is starting to set because it's getting darker earlier.
Yep, because stupid daylight savings.
I hate
daylight savings.
What do we need to do to stop that?
Make a petition.
On change.org? Is that where you do it?
I don't know. I have no idea, and I'm not going to be the one that's going to start it.
I might.
You start it, and I'll sign it.
I did the petition for Halloween to be the last weekend of the month. I signed it. I didn't start it, but now I'm thinking, is that what we got to do? Or maybe I'll have to do something like that, because I don't like daylight savings.
It's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary.
2 reasons I don't like it. 1, it gets darker earlier. I hate that it gets darker so much earlier. And number 2, I got to change all my clocks. That's the biggest pain in the ass.
Right.
And people get so worked up. They say, "Oh, we get the extra hour of sleep." My daughter said that. She goes, "Oh, but I like it because I get an extra hour." I said, "Sunday at 2 a.m. it goes to 1 a.m. Is that really affecting you? Are we really waking you up Sunday morning for anything?" No. And right. she realized, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right." And guess what? Like you were just saying, you want an extra hour? Go to bed earlier every day.
Yeah, you'll get your extra hour every day.
Just like that. So I can't stand daylight savings. And I had to help you in your car because you didn't have your car.
Actually, my car was set back like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
I had to do that for you because I'm like, what?
Well, because I didn't give a shit about it. I was like, I'm gonna look at the time on my phone.
Well, that would drive me nuts. I'm like, I gotta change your clock. But
you said it's California time, you big dummy. Because I'm gonna be driving into Utah tomorrow, and then I have to change it again.
I'll show you because it's a piece of cake.
Change it again.
I'll show you.
Way to go. Way to ruin my day.
You went on a weird tangent. Okay. What else?
Oh, speaking of daylight savings, I found out what it was for the other day.
What is it for?
Benjamin Franklin invented it to help save candles from having to go through so many candles.
Okay.
So he saved the daylight, is what he did. He turned the clocks back 1 hour so he can not burn as many candles. Stupid Benjamin Franklin and his stupid ideas.
But then why do you go back and forth though? That doesn't make sense to me.
Because I don't even want to get into it.
I don't know that's right. I've heard of so many different reasons.
Well, I heard about this a long time ago that it used to be for the farmers.
For the farmers.
I heard it had to do with agriculture.
More light for school, something like that.
But I think that was just people's excuses for continuing doing it.
Yeah, good point.
Because we don't use candles anymore, damn it.
That's a good point.
Progress.
Yeah. Let's get rid of it. Because there's only 2 states that do not do that, right?
Arizona and Hawaii. They figured it out.
I gotta find out how they did that.
Yeah, we need to figure it out.
I wonder if that's gonna be. We should make that on the ballot next year.
Do it, and I'll sign it.
Yes.
You gotta find a way.
We gotta find a way. Vote. We need to find a way to do that.
So, you know what? The other weekend, I went to my first play.
Oh, okay.
Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
That's good. Did you watch the movie? With Johnny Depp?
After the play, I watched the movie.
Okay, but you didn't watch it before?
No, well, so I tried to watch it before. It was on TV or something.
Okay.
And I put it on because I had never seen it and I was interested in it, not knowing it was a musical. So I put it on, and first scene has this little kid singing like a girl, and I was like, nope.
Okay. In the movie.
Okay. And I'm like, yeah, it was just like this little kid singing really high pitched, and I was not ready for a musical, and I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. I turned it off. And I never bothered to watch it again.
Okay.
And then some friends invited my wife and I to go with them to this play. And now I'm like, you know what?
So what did you think? When they invited you, were you excited about this? Or you were like, play?
At first I was like, I didn't really. I asked my wife, is this something you want to do? And she's like, hell yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do it. I'm down.
Okay.
So I actually really enjoyed it. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did.
So you did like it then?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Would you go to another play?
Yeah, they actually invited me. Well, this one is more of a ballet, but the Nutcracker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think they're trying to culture me.
You need some
horticulture.
So then you did watch the Sweeney Todd movie. What did you think after watching the movie?
Actually, the actors at the play did a really good job. I mean, it was really identical to the movie.
Okay.
And yeah, I liked the movie too.
Do you like musicals?
No.
I don't either.
Except I made an exception for the one. Well, now I like the Sweeney Todd, but The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, that was good.
That was the greatest movie.
That was so good. I love the story. I love the singing. I love the acting. It was good.
But have you seen what Barnum really looks like?
No.
He's not
as handsome as Huge?
Not at all. He looks like a little mole. He's
really?
Real short, real stocky. Yeah, he looks pretty gross. I mean, short and stocky doesn't mean ugly and gross. I'm short and stocky. But I just mean, I don't know, the pictures I've seen of him, he just look dirty.
Do you guys go into the circus?
No.
Why?
I never cared for the circus.
Because it's expensive as shit, or what?
Probably.
I mean, it is, but I've heard so many possibly negative things of how they treat their animals that I don't
was the big
really
thing.
want to
Well, that's why there
support
isn't a Barnum and Bailey circus anymore.
Yeah.
Because of the way they treated the animals.
I don't know how the circus is. What's the name of the circus now that comes around?
I don't know. It's that.
I wonder how
it's that Mexican circus. I think that's all.
I don't know.
It's in Spanish. I can't read it.
Really?
Yeah. So
I don't think I know that one. Oh, interesting.
That's all. That's the only ones I see now. It's like they put the little flyers in the stores, and it's all in Spanish, but it's all like a big circus tent, and animals on it and stuff. I can't read it.
I've seen it. Interesting.
It's no habla.
Español.
No habla.
Well, I got in town the other night. I took the red eye into San Diego. You were already here with our cousin, and you guys picked me up from the airport, and right away we went to the Whaley House downtown.
If you don't know what the Whaley House
San Diego.
It's haunted as shit.
It's pretty crazy, right? I mean, as soon as we get there, I'm a little tired, but we get there and we go out to the Whaley House, and Old Town's dead at this point. At this time, it's like
it was a
closer
Wednesday
to midnight.
night.
Closer to midnight, and we get on that property, and right around it, we're on the grass, and we got the K2 meter, and we got a couple other devices with us.
Right, and the K2 meter measures EMF, electromagnetic fields, electric magnetic. Either way, it picks that shit up. And it was going haywire on the property. Like off the property, not a hit. You go on the property, and it was just
spiking like crazy.
Spiking in everywhere. But the craziest part is when it's spiking crazy like that, you look around for electronics, anything, wires or whatever that can set it off.
Because I was wondering if there was something like under the ground.
The only thing above us was trees, or nothing at all. And below us, I mean, we were just on grass, and possibly the possibility of wires running through the property. So we would put the K2 near the ground, and it would be green, nothing, no hits.
Yeah, just be solid.
You put it up about 6 feet off the ground where there's nothing in the air, nothing above you, and it's just spiking like crazy.
No, like 3 years ago, we took a ghost tour around Old Town, and
the host,
keep going. You know it better.
Yeah, he told us about how there was just they've found multiple portals on the property, just everywhere. I think he said like over 200. And I remember he was letting us use his K2s. You and our cousin Triana were using them. I think you both were holding them. And yeah, there was kind of spiking here or there, but nothing like how it was that night. That night that we were there the other day, it was insane how much it was going off.
And she got her hair flipped that night.
Oh, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So during that little ghost tour we took, her hair got flipped. In fact, she's holding the camera for us. Thanks, Triana.
Say hi.
but yeah, she possibly got her hair flipped. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, you could tell from that property how active it is. It's pretty active. It is so strange that once you left the property line, it stopped. The K2 just stops. Like it'll be going crazy.
It stops blinking all the lights. Yeah.
Even like in front of the house, along the sidewalk in front of the house.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get to the neighbor's property, it's dead.
Yeah. It was very interesting, and it is only a few feet, maybe half a block away from a cemetery.
Yeah,
and we were snapping some pictures. So tell what happened. You snapped some pictures.
Well, using the Ghost Meter Pro in the cemetery, we were only picking up on a couple things here and there, nothing crazy. I snapped a picture of the cemetery, like a broad picture of the cemetery, and I sent it to our friend who is a medium who can see spirits in pictures and in videos. And when I sent that to her, she said she only saw a couple standing in there in the cemetery. But, it was also a few days after the Day of the Dead. And most of the people buried in that cemetery are of Mexican descent or Native American descent.
Yeah, it was cool because it was decorated for Day of the Dead.
Right.
The way people
put their
offerings. It was really nice looking.
And but yeah, she said there wasn't much in there. And then Triana and I went to this place called the Tea Houses.
Okay.
And we were walking through these tea houses. They're like houses that were picked up, relocated, and set on this property, and kind of put back together, but added plumbing and stuff in some of them.
Okay.
And I believe you can rent them out for events or whatever, or you can just tour through them when they're open, or maybe some of them are just completely just closed off and there for show.
All right.
But we walked around there at night and kind of looked at some of these, and I got a really strong feeling of energy from just this one side window of one of the houses.
Okay.
So I snapped a picture of it, and then I sent it to our friend, and she responded back with, "Yeah, there's a lady staring at you in there."
Oh, interesting.
I was like, "Yeah, I could feel it."
Interesting.
It was like just burning a hole through my face.
So did that give you chills?
No, because I already felt...
You kind of had an idea?
Just by looking out that window and going close to it, I already knew something was there. I just can't see it the way she can.
Okay, interesting.
So it was cool to know that, I was right that something's there, but then it was cool to put something with that feeling.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So that was a fun little night. So here in San Diego, and it's starting to set. So I don't know if you have anything else.
Let me check my little notebook. What else I might have for us to talk about? Oh yeah, did you know that Mickey Mouse just turned 90 years old?
No.
This was last Sunday. They had a big, spectacular extravaganza on ABC.
Did you watch it?
I started to watch it, but then I had to leave, and so I never got to finish it.
Oh, okay.
But Mickey's 90 now.
How do you think it looks like the new Mickey? Like, I was trying to talk to you, and you weren't sure, but they had these little short films, and they were like maybe 5 minutes long, and Mickey looked like an anime. It looked weird. I didn't like it. I don't know if you've seen those.
I have seen some of the way they did these new Mickey cartoons where it's almost like a retro look to it. And I like that look. I kind of
Okay.
like the old classic look of Mickey.
Okay. In fact, I just got a new shirt with Mickey Mouse on it. It's a nice red shirt, and he's wearing a Santa hat. I can't wait to wear it.
You should wear it as soon as you get home.
Well, as soon as it gets washed, I threw it in the hamper, and my wife's at home. I think she'll probably do laundry while I'm out here, and I'm gonna put that sucker on. I'll probably put it on my tree soon too. I feel like I put my tree up, and it's like over. Like I put so much work. Like it's almost like an all-day event by putting up Christmas decorations, and I feel like it's so fast. So I've been putting it up a little bit earlier every year, but I won't turn it on yet.
Why don't you just leave your tree up all year and just redecorate it
do that.
every holiday?
I know people that do that. Oh, like people change the theme, like
yeah.
take the ornaments off and then put
People do like Halloween trees,
hearts for Valentine's and shamrocks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
No,
that way you
I
can
can't
always
do
have
that.
a tree and you can shut up about it.
No, but I am gonna put it up pretty soon.
If anybody else has any other ideas for us for any treats to try out or any other kind of crazy food.
And then we were also asking for stories. We've gotten some more ghost stories in. I got another one last night.
Perfect.
One or two. I got two last night. Some more ghost
Maybe
stories.
we'll read some next week.
I think we should start doing them.
Okay.
I've got some stories. I did some investigations with our team recently. I've got some stories I'm going to share soon. Maybe I'll share one right now.
Go for it.
All right, let me share this one right now. So I just before I left, like a day before, or maybe a couple days before I flew out here, we went to a chiropractor office, right? And they're having some paranormal, especially one lady in particular. She feels like while she's at work at this chiropractor office, she's kind of getting pulled or tugged or grabbed a little bit. And we know we're kind of talking to her, kind of getting a feel. We're walking through it, and we started getting the impression that it was mostly kind of attached to her versus the chiropractor building. Kind of the impression we were getting. So we're I get there a little bit late. I was running late. I get there, and they've already kind of started without me a little bit. And one of our team members, Deanne, she's sitting on the floor. She's got these dowsing rods. So you're familiar with them, but people that don't know, they're these thin copper wires, and they just kind of
Bent at a 90 degree.
Yeah.
Held out and they cross or open depending on how you're
right. So you just kind of stand holding it, and it kind of free floats in your hand, and then if something kind of gets near it, similar to the EMF readers of the K2, it's supposed to make things
the spirits
happen.
can manipulate it to either cross them or open them or point in certain directions.
Yeah.
However you're asking them to do it.
So she was getting some rings. I was using the devices we always use, and it was going off like crazy, and I realized it was because I was by a light where they hang up the X-rays so you can see them better.
Oh yeah.
So I realized,
that gave out a ton.
yeah. So that was giving a lot of energy, so I realized that. I was thinking, man, there's a ton of energy happening in here, and I finally pinpointed it and debunked that. And I said, okay,
that's good that you can.
I see what that was.
That's what everyone needs to do, because on one investigation, someone's like, "This thing is solid red this whole time." I'm like, okay, I grabbed it from her and I showed her the perimeter. You're sitting over some wires right now. Like, you can follow the wires along the floor.
Right.
Like, come on, use your head.
and so she was communicating, and she was kind of getting that something was more closer to the lobby. That something was more powerful of an entity was in the lobby. So we said, so should we head out to the lobby? And I said, sure. Like I'm always like the first one to go in. Like I'm not worried. And as I go in, I feel a poke right in like my lower back, in my back. I feel like a poke like that, just very simple poke. And I walked by and I turned around and I looked at Deanna and I said, did you poke me with those dowsing rods? I assumed she came right behind me, and because they're pointing outward, it poked me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just my assumption. And she goes, no, did you get poked in the back? And when I turn around, I can see the dowsing rods are facing a different direction than me. I said, yeah. Now, I'm not saying a spirit poked me. I just said I felt a poke in my back. So we get out to the lobby, and I'm using the machines again, and she's communicating.
Well, real quick, when you got the poke, was it just a poke, or was it a poke and a push? Like, was it like
I felt like it was like that, just like a poke.
Okay.
Yeah, more. Yeah, I don't feel like it pushed me or anything. I just felt like it was a poke. And so we get out to the lobby, and I'm using my devices. I'm not really paying attention to what she's asking. She's asking questions, getting responses, and finally she goes, "Okay, hold on." And so when she did that, everyone kind of put their focus on Deanne, and she said, "Derek, raise your hand." I raised my hand, and she said, "Do you think Derek's cute?" And it says yes. "Are you the one that poked him in the back?" And the dowsing rods crossed. Said yes. And then she said, "Are you trying to follow him home?" And it crossed saying yes. She goes, "Well, you can't follow Derek home." I said, well, I have to ask my wife for permission if we're going to have a threesome. But,
yeah, succubus time, baby.
let me ask her first. But it was pretty interesting, right? I'm not saying, again, that everything I'm saying is true. I'm just saying it's very interesting.
Right.
And then when we were about to head out, we decided we're going to go to the lady's house now. But anyway, as we're heading out, Deanne's husband, Don, asked me a question, goes, because he doesn't hang out with the group too much, so he kind of gets me and you confused with each other. Mm-hmm. And he says, so are you Derek or Dale? And I said, I'm Derek. He goes, funny, I got this app on my phone, and I've been kind of sitting here kind of talking, and words pop up. So supposedly how this is supposed to work is that spirits will talk in there and say certain words, window, door, just little one phrase words. And right before I arrived, because he didn't know, he was in another area, so he didn't know I was texting saying, hey, I'm almost there, what suite number is it in? He didn't realize that because he was in another area. But right before I walked in the door, I guess my name, Derek, popped up on his app.
Interesting.
Pretty interesting, right?
I would like to know which app that is.
Well, yeah, you have to ask him. I didn't ask him. It was just an app. I'm not sure if he bought it or what. I don't
like those apps that blurt words, like
sure.
Being on a phone like that. Because it could also have a mic on it and just mimic words that it hears people say. Like
okay.
if somebody said your name,
yeah,
while that app is running,
right,
and then randomly it'll repeat that word.
But he was in another area by himself, where everyone was in the back. He was in a different area by himself. So he was actually sitting.
If it's a good app, I'd also like to know which app it is, because if it's a good one,
you want it, yeah.
I would like to.
We'll have to find out. But again, I'm not saying anything was all supernatural. I'm just saying very interesting circumstances, all kind of correlated at the same time.
Right.
But we got some great stories coming in. If you guys got stories, anything related to our show, you can email us.
Yeah, at bukoboyspodcast@gmail.com, or you can just hit us up on either Instagram or Facebook, Buko Boys, or Buko Boys Podcast. Either one you search, you'll find us.
You'll see our heads.
Our coconut heads.
They're there.
So there was something on the internet that I had seen. It was this guy was trying food that people were telling him to try.
Okay.
And one was a sandwich. It was peanut butter, mayo, and dill pickles. Sounds gross as shit, right?
Yes.
He eats it and was like, I don't know why, but this is not bad.
But you didn't say it was good, though, did he?
No, he said it was. He kept eating it.
Okay.
Because usually he was over dramatic about gross stuff. He was like spitting it out, slapping his tongue. And this one, he kept eating it. So I was sitting at home, and it was kind of late, and I was pretty hungry at the time. I'm like, I have those ingredients. I have those on me right now.
So you made it?
I made it.
Okay, let me ask you, what kind of peanut butter? Crunchy or smooth?
It was creamy.
Okay.
Creamy peanut butter. Because I figured, since I'm going to add the dill pickles, it's going to have a crunch already.
Good thinking. And then what about the mayo? Was it?
It was olive oil mayo.
Okay, all right.
And then when it came to the pickles, I'm choosy on my pickles. It was Clausen.
Okay, Spears, what?
They were Clausen Spears, yes.
Okay, all right. Good. I mean, these are all good choices, okay?
My first bite.
What kind of bread?
It was 9-grain. It was a 9-grain
wheat,
multi-grain, but it was good bread. I like it, and it was not bad. And I took multiple bites until I finished the whole thing.
You liked it?
Yeah, because it was salty sweet with crunch.
All right.
And it all worked. It was weird, but it worked.
So, I mean, you told me about that, and I said, there's this guy that does it. You go, that's where I got it from.
Yes.
And I actually watched one, and he did that. He liked too, was Cheetos and milk, like cereal.
I don't know if I would want to do that.
No, some weird stuff.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
But there were some ideas, guys.
I would try it, I guess. I would try it.
There were some ideas. You can kind of contact us where Dale just mentioned. Also, if you're watching the YouTube, you can put comments in there as well. So, yeah. Well, I think that's it for now. The sun is getting pretty dark.
Show the sun on the camera. So you got to watch us on YouTube to see the sunset. So maybe you're going to have to listen and then watch.
If it gets captured.
It's on there.
Oh, it does look good. Yeah, we started to do that.
Now back to us because we're famous. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening or watching, either or. We appreciate it. Thanks for all the love, and we out.
Stay classy, San Diego.
It's a whale's vagina, if you don't know.